All right, man. It's AC League Parlay Pete here, hour 2. Hey, Parlay Pete, you want to talk a little NBA anonymous poll?
Let's talk it. I know that we didn't have much to say about who I know our first subject will be on these anonymous polls. And, a question that a lot of people always like to have in barbershops and maybe even on your favorite 4-letter network. I don't know, but certainly I know you're going to open up with the most overrated player in the NBA.
I'm actually going to go in order of the article.
Well, damn you then, okay? Because I thought I just set that up perfectly.
I mean, you set it up great but I'm pulling up the article, and if I go out of order, I'm going to miss something.
Go for it.
First one, who's the MVP? Do we really want to talk about that? 50% is Embiid.
I think that it's the foregone conclusion that he's won it this year. That he had a huge block too tonight. I don't know if you caught that.
No, I was on the road pretty much that whole game.
Okay? He had a huge block there at the end. It was a 1-point game. Brooklyn went up. He pinned, I think either Bridge. It was Dinwiddie shot off the glass, and then Tucker got the ball, got fouled, went down, knocked down 2 free throws for them to get a 3-point lead. It's a big block. It was a huge block. It was an MVP type play.
Jordan Poole needs to line up that fucking stash, that beard, and get a new barber.
He needs to do what I'm about to do tomorrow. I got to get all this done.
Who's the best defender?
I know who got voted, and it makes sense as a perimeter defender. They voted Drew.
Yeah, no respect for your DPOY, Jaren Jackson. He got 4%. Drew got 28.
No respect for last year's DPOY. Marcus Smart.
He got 8.9. Britt got 8 point. Here's what I like about these polls. It takes you into the eye of the way the players think versus what we watch and what we see. Because they'll actually tell you, Jaren Jackson, he plays pretty good defense. He gets blocks, but he averages 5 fouls a game. He fouls a lot.
Yeah.
You're building a roster from scratch. Who are you going to sign first? Who would you sign first, probably, Pete?
Considering age, health, accomplishments, I'm going to go chalk with the league and take Giannis.
Yeah, I'm probably going Jason Tatum.
I'm going to go Giannis. He's already accomplished.
He is. I don't know if I'm starting from
scratch. He's got 2 MVPs, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm starting from scratch. I don't know if I'm starting from scratch. I get to build the team that they were able to build around him.
Giannis is 28. He turned 28 at the end of this past year.
He's young.
And what is Tatum? Tatum's like 24.
Yeah. The age doesn't matter here because you're fired in 3 years if you don't win games.
He's 25.
If you don't win games in 3 years, you're fired. I think with these conversations, when people start, like if you think too much long-term about who you want to start your team with, it's not going to matter because you're going to be fired before the team gets to be good. Try to win in 2 years.
I think Giannis is a good piece because I can run him at the 5 or the 4. Tatum, obviously, you can run really at he can handle the ball too, but he's a 2-3 and can play 4, but he's really a 2 or a 3.
You remember Giannis came in the league as a 3?
Yeah, because he was skinny and had that Kevin Durant kind of bod, I guess, and baby face and raw talent. Like,
oh, baby, I like it raw.
I'll give you a player to start, too, before we move on from that.
Say again?
I said I'll give you an underrated player to start your franchise with, and that's Shea.
Shea got less than – he got like 1% of the votes.
So like Ja had more than him, I imagine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the order is Giannis, Jokic, Luka, Steph, Embiid, Tatum, other LeBron, Ja Morant, KD, and Shai Gilgeous.
Shai's an underrated one.
You know what? Looking at this now, I think what they did with the most overrated was a disservice. So for one, only 54 people voted. Who's the most overrated player? Other, 31.5%. Next, Trae Young, 14.8%. Then we got Julius Randle at 7.4%, Pascal Siakam at 7.4%, Jimmy Butler at 5.6, Rudy Gobert at 5.6, Triple J at 5.6. Then it's RJ, Dylan Brooks, Draymond Green, Dame Lillard, Chris Paul, and Austin
Dame
Reeves.
Lillard?
Huh?
Dame Lillard? I mean, I get it, I guess, because he doesn't win really, but like, come on now. Let's stop acting like that's about him. That ain't nothing. Them not winning don't have shit to do with him.
You know, sometimes you can be good at a sport and be dumb. You can be good. Like, who was it? Draymond, when he was talking about Dylan Brooks on his podcast when he just eviscerated him. He was like, just because you play in the NBA doesn't mean you understand basketball. A lot of players do not understand basketball. And I think this can become a case of that. If you think that Dame Lillard is overrated, okay, stop him.
I don't think that Trae is the most overrated.
I don't think that Trae is the most overrated because I also don't think a lot of people think Trae is that damn good. He's not. He's people don't like him.
Oddly enough, though, bro, he's got to be top 10 in jersey sales in the league. I feel like he's just a popular player. He feels like a very popular player in the league. Like
I think he plays well with kids.
Well, and that's what I was thinking. Whenever you look up and the Hawks are playing somewhere, it's like there's like enough people wearing Trae Young jerseys in the building. I guess is what I'm saying.
Remember Kobe went to the Lakers Hawks game because Gigi wanted to go watch Trae.
Yeah, I think that they said that was her favorite player in the league.
We're going to talk about those Gigi shoes too because I think what Nike did was disgusting.
Yeah, let's throw it in culture hour.
Yeah. Let me write that on the board before I forget.
I'll tell you who I think is the most overrated. If we're going to go by paycheck and production, it is not even close. It's Rudy Gobert. Paycheck and production is Rudy Gobert.
Media coverage and media coverage and product on the court, superstar Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray gets talked.
How much does Jamal Murray get?
Well, I won't say he doesn't get a lot of coverage, but Jamal Murray gets talked about as like a number 2, but he gets talked about a number 2 like Kyrie gets talked about as a number 2. He gets talked about like Klay Thompson as a number 2. He gets grouped with the number 2 who are all-stars when he is Canadian CJ McCollum. Josh Holsey says, "Doing likes Rudy Gobert. He's overpaid, not overrated." Hey, Josh, how about this? How about I send you a microphone and you join the damn show? Ooh, but spicy. I like that.
Stop it. Kawhi Leonard is the most overrated player in the league.
Hey, if we want to go like most overrated superstars, take it away from just players, most overrated superstars, I could go Kawhi Leonard. Yeah, he's definitely overrated. He's a product of a system, not the system. You build around Kawhi Leonard.
System and not the system. The man just dropped 38 in a game 1 on the road without his wingman that's supposed to be his wingman. Okay, and they beat a team with a team that just went to the NBA Finals recently that added Kevin Durant. I don't want to hear it. There's a number 1 pick at center. You got a first ballot Hall of Fame point guard. If we want to talk overrated players, he would be maybe somebody you would want to throw in there. In reality, it would be Chris Paul. But like, don't give me Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard, look, let's just run through the accomplishment. He's a 2-time hey, people forget this. He's a 2-time finals MVP. He's a 2-time champion. He's an all-star MVP. I know that doesn't mean nothing, but it does. Okay, it's fireworks. I thought it was gunshots. I'm like, damn, man, they got a rocket launcher out here.
That was loud, bro. The mic.
You heard it too?
Yeah, I picked it up a little.
He's a 2-time DPOY. I just don't know how he could be overrated. And he's a 7-time all defensive. How? Where's the overratedness? 5-time all-star. And this is also a dude that's typically hurt, and I get that, but like, where's the overrated in that? How many players are 2-time finals MVPs and 2-time DPOYs while also being a 5-time All NBA player and a 7-time All Defensive player, and they just turned 31. Stop it. He's not overrated. Kawhi
You
Leonard's not
know,
overrated.
part of it is just
Paul George is more overrated than Kawhi Leonard. How about that?
no, hell no.
So you think he's the better player on the team?
No, I don't. I don't think Paul George is in the same conversation as Kawhi Leonard.
Well, we know
Kawhi,
accomplishment-wise he isn't.
I mean, we put Kawhi Leonard in conversations with LeBron and Giannis
I'm
and
sorry.
KD.
Did Kawhi is also on the All NBA 75 team. I forgot to mention that, but yeah, he's an overrated player. Like,
yeah, he's on the All NBA 75 team. The man's had like
he's overrated then. Like, give me some shit like that. I'd rather hear that than Kawhi Leonard.
Josh Holley says Anthony Davis is overrated too.
I'm okay with that though. I would rather hear that than that.
But that's not true. Anthony Davis isn't overrated. Fat Zion is overrated.
All-NBA 75.
No. Fat Zion is overrated. Fat Luka is overrated. The Joker, overrated. Cat, he's coming back down to earth, thank God. Has been overrated for years. You want to talk about people who are overrated? Shit, Klay Thompson is overrated.
The second best 3-point shooter of all time.
Yes, he's a specialist. He's the second best 3-point shooter.
Man, he's a hell of a one-trick pony then. Because
yes.
And remember too, prior to
probably Pete, question for you. Ever met a chick who gave great dome? It's all you wanted from her.
Yeah.
Would you introduce her to your family? At dinner.
If she's pretty and I'm dating her, yeah.
No. Because you wouldn't date her if she only had if her only defining feature was.
I mean, you're making it sound like the pussy's trash. Why does the pussy have to be trash? Just because
because we were talking about a one-trick pony.
And this is a bad example. Because
No. One-trick ponies don't come to dinner. They come after. When they get home, because you don't make them come.
You know who you just sound like? You sound like in Four Brothers when my nigga said, he's like, I told y'all to hire out of town shooters. He's like, you don't hire a hoe to fuck you. He's like, you pay her to leave. He's like, and that's why I wanted out of town shooters. He said, because in town shooters bring in town problems and in town police. But that's how you sound basically about this bitch coming out to dinner with me or something. Like to meet my family. Like you don't bring her there. She's there for afterwards. Because that's what she is.
And someone like Klay Thompson, who is amazing, great. But he thinks he belongs in conversations with other, like he can't be in a conversation with Scottie Pippen.
I've got my overrated player.
Who you got?
Devin Booker is the overrated player. That is the overrated player. He gets so much love. When I saw somebody said that he was the Kobe. Jason Tatum to me is the closest to Kobe in my opinion. His game is much more. It's fluid as fuck, just like Kobe's. Bro.
But here's the thing: these guys, like Jason Tatum, plays like old Kobe when he's young.
Oh, he's okay, but Jason Tatum is young, and I get it.
Tatum, yes, his young game.
He didn't really watch young Kobe like we did, but
So I don't want you to be compared to Kobe. Kobe was a top tier athlete, a high flyer. Kobe will bang on your head. Jason,
so what do you think Tatum's more like McGrady, kind of?
No, he's like old Kobe.
Okay, but I just compared him to Kobe. I wouldn't say,
but I don't think he gets to be compared
to Kobe.
I don't want to compare him to old Kobe while he's young.
And actually, I don't think that I'm not comparing him to old Kobe. I'm just comparing him to Kobe.
I know,
but young Kobe was fluid too. He had a fluid game.
Yeah, but it was he wanted to dunk on you. He wanted to take your soul.
Tatum doesn't really be dunking on it. Tatum don't even have that in him, like that.
Exactly.
Kobe.
I don't like people being compared to Kobe because
there's only one. Someone said that too.
No, there's not.
Kobe's a copy of another player, but
right. But the players who are who share a mentality more like Kobe, and the you have like a Westbrook who's as relentless as Kobe, not nearly as skilled. And then you have a Kyrie who is as skilled, probably more skilled than Kobe. Not probably is more skilled than Kobe because that's just no. Kyrie's one of the most skilled players to ever play the game. Stop it. Stop it.
I
Stop
didn't
it.
say that he wasn't. I just don't know if that's Kobe's skill. He's a great dribbler.
Dang, bro. Look at runs him and no, great finisher, great shooter, 3 level scorer, tough shot, easy shot. Like stop.
Just
But the
the
point,
winning just low key isn't there.
well, Kobe needed a good number 2 or a good number 1 too. So
I would say that Kyrie's played with better twos than Kobe. Yeah, Kobe played with Shaq. Okay, we get that. But like he's played with LeBron. LeBron's better than Shaq. Obviously, that's how he got
LeBron's
his
better than Kobe.
Look, we're not gonna get into this. Like I told you, I didn't see what happens in this playoffs. They get bounced by Memphis, man.
Well, Josh Holley said Devin Booker and Tatum are both overrated.
Then fuck, Josh, you're not even half the league now, man.
Well, here's what I think. Oh, I know who's not overrated. Swiping, no swiping.
He doesn't really. Okay, that sounds like gunshots, but bro, I can't tell. There's a lot going on behind me.
What I will say though is it's so hard to rate players because the NBA media does a terrible job of understanding the difference between good player with bad teammates and decent player with good enough teammates. You know, like people were low on De'Aaron Fox, but you go that roster sucks. What is he supposed to do? You know, I'm sorry. Or like Devin Booker. Devin Booker became great when Chris Paul showed up. His game hasn't changed. His game's barely changed. He just has better teammates.
But the numbers remain the same. I mean,
but that's the thing. Devin Booker has been what he was 4 years ago before Chris Paul showed up. They just have a better team.
Was it with you that I did it maybe 3 years ago? Pause.
We didn't do anything.
I think I said
The blind reveal. The blind reveal.
Yeah, and I said player A and player B, and it was like him and Colin, and they had the same exact numbers, like these same numbers. Actually, Colin was a better 3-point shooter, but and Booker averaged 1 more point, but like they averaged their numbers were the exact assists and rebound. It was the same thing.
Yo, Moses Moody looks like he has a food stamp card. but them braids look terrible.
Like he hangs outside of an Amoco.
He looks like he plays at the Y in Dickies.
All right, that's disrespectful. Because for one, why is a nigga wearing Dickies to begin with, right?
Have you ever played against a nigga in Dickies?
If so, I can't recall. No.
Let's get back to this here thing. The most underrated player.
He's one shorts or something, man.
The most underrated player. Other was 34%.
Drew was the highest, right?
Yeah.
But that makes sense. He is a very underrated player.
Because his game. This
has been his best year, really.
Yes, but his game doesn't sell tickets. And it's not a knock on his game. He just doesn't sell tickets.
He's just a really good player.
He plays good basketball.
Underrated.
Drew or Trey as your starting point guard?
It depends on how the team is constructed.
No. That's no context.
Like the current Hawks, if I could put Drew in his place.
No context.
As a player, I want Drew because Drew can still give you 23, 24, and 6, 7 assists while being the best defender on the floor. So, yeah, I will take Drew because I'm only leaving off in a year where he has the ball and can do what he wants. I'm only leaving off about 3 points, maybe 4 a game, and only like 3 assists. So, I mean, and he's a better defender. So, like, yes, pound for pound, yeah, give me Drew Holiday. But
if I'm the owner, I'm getting Trae Young 10 times over because he's going to make me more money. If I'm a GM, give me Drew.
That's what I'm saying. And so, but I'll give you my underrated player, the most underrated player in the NBA. I'll go for guys that aren't necessarily stars that probably deserve more credit. and people won't give this guy credit. I'm not saying he's the most underrated, but he's on this list, in my opinion. Kevin Herter probably doesn't get the credit that he deserves as a basketball player. He's actually a pretty solid defender. He rebounds. He's clutch. Like, he can score too when he needs to, and he can shoot.
Like them folks outside.
Yeah, man. Just like
You wanna know who my underrated player is?
who?
Brandon Ingram. It goes back to some of the similar conversation I was having about Devin Booker, and the way NBA players are covered. I think that false expectations are created for young players that history shows that very few of them meet. You know, Kobe, outlier career, because he literally showed up to a prime Shaq, which meant a prime Shaq and a mature roster. And you got to understand, Kobe, yeah, he got traded, but he got drafted at 13. He didn't get drafted at 3. So he went to a good team.
This was also in an era where the year before KG.
But I'm not getting into where he should have been drafted. That doesn't matter.
I'm just saying, but that's also a part of why he fell too.
Well, yes, but the point being was
The
he
talent.
was a good player who showed up to a good team. So he was not able to just do whatever the hell he wanted. For one, it just wasn't going to happen. Hell, he didn't get to play as a rookie, and he was able to grow into himself before the pressure fell on his back. Where now we got De'Aaron Fox, Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, hell, Trae Young, Luka Doncic, DeAndre Ayton.
I think you meant LaMelo.
Huh?
Did you mean LaMelo or Lonzo?
No, I meant Lonzo, but even LaMelo Ball. These guys show up to bad teams, and then they go, "Oh, it's year 2. He's scoring a lot of points, but they're not winning games." Bro, this nigga just kicked at the Thabo Cephalosha. What you want him to do? Thabo Cephalosha couldn't get a bucket with KD and Russ on the court.
I'll give you my underrated star,
Who you got?
Anthony Edwards.
I don't think he's underrated.
I don't think that they give him the credit he deserves. I think that
I think most people think he's the best player on their team, and he's just fucked because he has Rudy Gobert clogging up the middle, and Cat is the older guy, so it's his team.
maybe Jaylen Brown too.
Oh yeah, Jaylen Brown's definitely underrated.
Probably doesn't get the credit he deserves, and he's realistically certainly a top 20 player.
If they won the championship last year, he was Finals MVP. He had a better finals than Jason Tatum, and it was obvious. I don't like.
Tatum had a couple of stinker ass games. I mean, he had some stinky. Like I think one of those games, he was like, it's like 3 of like something. Like
Jason or Jaylen?
8 or something. Tatum.
Yeah. If you make him dribble, he's not as good as you would like for him to be.
Who's your underrated? Who else?
I like seeing DeJounte Murray on this list because I think DeJounte Murray's a really good player. And I think that the Hawks should look to build around him as their second best player, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Because when I tell people like we should trade Trey and go with DeJounte, they go, he can't be the best. No. He's not supposed to be the best player. We're not making a trade for DeJounte to be the best player. But he needs to run the offense. He plays basketball the right way. When he's shooting, when he's having a good day, he's getting his buckets. He's getting people involved, and it's not just assists, it's hockey assists. He and Trey do not play well together. They look each other off a lot. I don't know if you've peeped that, but they look each other off a lot, and they do not pass the ball to one another as much as you'd like for them to. Yeah. When it's obvious, yeah. But if there's an option, yeah, I'm gonna go here.
I like DeJounte. He showed fighting game too. Did you see his numbers? He looked great.
Yeah.
He looked great. That was about it. But he looked, and DeAndre Hunter actually had a pretty good game too. But like, Trey didn't show up, so what difference does it make?
Well, This greatest player of all time list was a waste of time. 103 votes. MJ gets 58.3, so he got like 59 votes. LeBron 33%, Kobe 6.8%. Bill Russell and Tracy McGrady made the list. And that's why I say this just doesn't matter. Why is Bill Russell on this list? Why is Tracy McGrady on this list?
T-Mac had no business. You know, I'm not trying to be funny. I know they said it was only 103 people that voted. That Bill Russell pick was like Udonis Haslam or LeBron James or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, LeBron could have voted for himself, I guess, but if he voted at all. But
somebody young enough to
oh, you mean, well, Rudy Gobert is the one that voted for him. He's like, you see this? He's like, this man gets a ton of rebounds and blocks, and he won. He's like, that's winning basketball. Like,
so do we play to win the game or do we play to get stats?
Win. But that's a part of being. Let's fucking go. Give me a fucking 5, man. Avalanche were down 2-0. They're up 3-2. We got 7 minutes left, and I'm 21 grand away.
Phoenix is up 71-60.
I don't give a rat's ass about that game because I didn't bet on it.
I'm just watching Phoenix and Phoenix, yeah, and Chris Paul missed threes, but it's okay. Anything else NBA you want to talk about? Hard back to Houston, apparently.
That story, they've been running that like 4 times. Woj is getting real lazy, man. They reported that like 4 times this year. We get it. He might want to go to Houston. If things don't work out, he would like to get paid and go back and live in Houston. We understand. Like, he's going to be the highest paid player. Who knows? Victor might end up going there. You add Harden with that and what they got, and who knows? Maybe they could be the Thunder this year. I don't know, but we get
Parlay P.
Story.
If you could make $50 million a year, would you go to Houston next season?
Yes, sir. I wouldn't think twice. I would prefer to move to Dallas than Houston, but give me that Texas tax break, baby.
Turkey leg hut me, please.
You know, I don't really like Houston though as a city. In my
opinion. I think you talked about that last week.
Yeah,
or maybe you talked about it on the phone. I don't know. My conversations.
We've had this before, but yeah, I don't really like that. But that's a non-story. Let's talk more about how Kevin Durant came out on the boardroom and basically said that the MVP has lost its mystique. That it's not what it used to. He said it's still a deal, but it's not as big a deal anymore.
Let me see if I can find audio.
Go to Twitter and go to boardroom, and they pinned it.
Didn't you send it to me?
I thought I did.
Text or
in the quote though, and not the video.
I mean, you sent me something on Twitter. I don't know if it was text or video. Like, God, I talk to you too much on too many platforms.
Yeah. Good thing we don't do it on Twitter.
Well, this is how you build a pretty good show. Here we go. I got it.
Who is your guy? I'm making you pick.
Come on.
Who do you got? Okay. We got your vote.
Damn. I didn't want to pick because I knew I'm going to get fans on my timeline and fans. I know for sure. Those cameras, I'm looking. My guy. I was my guy first. And then somebody fell into my knee 2 years in a row. But
I didn't want to say it.
No, that's not it. Hold on.
So who is your...
I'm sorry. They didn't pin that comment. Go just if you scroll down to yesterday, you will see it though.
I'm looking for it now. I like KD on his podcast, but his host is terrible.
Oh, Kevin Durant.
I think the award has a little less value than it once did, and it's just because of how we've painted it. But I think it still matters. It's still something you have to have as a great. Like,
it still
through
matters.
the bullshit, you have to get an MVP.
I wouldn't say it lost its significance over time. It's because it still matters. Like, you still have to play at that level to become an MVP. So that journey and grind still matters, but the mystique of being an MVP has got like it's not what it once was. It's like we talk about it too much. Simply put,
Yeah. It's much like many of the things
yeah,
in social media. We know too much.
yeah.
We talk about it too much.
The
We're
curtain is
desensitized
yeah.
to the
We've
MVP.
been looking behind the curtain for too long now. Like we said, we was talking about this last night. The mystique around our favorite players, our favorite artists, anything was a part of it. Like I didn't know much about you, and what you gave, your offering to the earth is what I got from you, and that connected me with you. Now we can see just about everything that we want, and in anything, any industry that we want to be a part of, we can see everything.
He's speaking facts, but like
I think the word has a little.
So sorry, I did the hate because KD just went down the lane and trail and punched one.
Oh, as he's speaking on
Yeah.
this platform. I caught Cap a little bit because Jokic has won the last 2 MVPs and nobody knows shit about him. In reality, he's not a social media person. I don't think he is, at least. I don't know. I've never seen anything with Jokic on social media. So I call Cap just on that. He's right that that is the truth, but it's Cap in terms of using that for why the MVP award has lost mystique. It's lost mystique because basically KD won the MVP. It will be 10 years ago last year. Or next year, I'm sorry. 2013-14 is when KD won MVP. After that, it's been Steph Curry, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Giannis, Jokic. So it didn't lose its mystique until certainly after he got it, right? So now we're looking at Steph Curry transforms basketball. You played with him. Russell Westbrook, you played with him. James Harden, you played with him. Then there's the 2 guys that are international that have won back-to-back. So where did the mystique go gone? It got gone because you're saying it turned into a stat stuffer award and not a basketball purist award of, man, no, this is really the best player in the league. It's an analytical award. Like I don't want to really hear anything else because that is kind of what this has turned into. It is an analytical award.
And so has it lost its mystique in the present day? Yes. I agree with you. And remember, we were having a conversation. Can I say your daughter's mother's name on here?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is real awkward to say live because if you would have said
just call it K.
Yeah, okay. So we were having a conversation with Kay, remember? And she was saying, yeah, y'all show's pretty good, but y'all agree too much. It's like, well, yeah, it's not Stephen A. and Skip. Sorry, it's not a debate show. It's a conversation. But
I'm sorry, we make good points.
But same thing here. I agree with you. Has the MVP lost its mystique? Yes. Did it lose its mystique because we have too much access to players? No. Has it lost its mystique because they talk about it too much? Maybe a little. It's lost its mystique because we're older. The fans are smarter. KD is older. He's smarter. He knows the politics behind it. It's not the social media of the players. It's the social media of the voters and the expanded voting base. And we get to hear voters talk about their thoughts throughout the year on podcasts and on TV shows. And we realize this guy does not know how to watch basketball. He will make a statistical argument to me. And I will go, yeah, nah, bro. You don't understand basketball. And I'm going to come back to Kyrie, the guy who will never win an MVP, will never finish in top 5 of the MVP race. But you know how there are statistical arguments that will say Kyrie is not like a good basketball player. But if you've played basketball, you watch what he does, and you try to guard Kyrie, you go, this man can play ball.
Yeah.
And I think that's what has taken away the mystique of the MVP because damn near every voter has a podcast and you listen to the calculus behind their vote and you go, oh, this nigga is dumb.
Well,
He don't
you kind of hear the straw poll.
And the thing that you also hear, hold on, real quick, and you also hear this is now that the votes are public, you don't want to be the guy that's on the wrong side of history.
Yeah, that too.
So you start putting the industry politics into it, and you go, what they say MVP is a storyline award. Why do we accept that as sports fans? Why does the NBA? Why do the NBA PA accept that? Like, oh yeah, the MVP. Oh, it's a narrative award. No, it's not. It shouldn't be. We shouldn't allow it to be. Who's the most valuable player to the league? Who's the most valuable player to their team? And when the wrong person gets it, and they go, well, it's a regular season award. Playoff performance doesn't matter. And then you see somebody like KD go crazy in the playoffs. Somebody like LeBron go crazy in the playoffs. Somebody like Steph go crazy in the playoffs. And then you watch the MVP come up short, come up short, come up short. Well, we liked the MVP when Braun was winning and winning championships. And when KD was winning and making deep playoff runs. And when Steph was winning and winning championships. When D Rose was, we thought D Rose was going to make a run and they just ran into the Heat. You know what I mean? Like we thought they had a chance, right?
Blew out Dang, Kirk Heinrich.
Yeah. Like they were a 1 seed. That's okay. But then
you remember Andreas Nocioni?
Yeah, he went to, yeah, I remember him. And then you got Joker winning 2 back to back, and then he doesn't get out the second round.
Well, he got swept 1 year.
He's the last pick in the All-Star game. That matters. I don't care about his style of game. That tells you the respect that the players have for him. And you go, they don't see him as the MVP. They don't respect him. It's like the Steve Nash MVPs. I will use them in an anti-Kobe argument with you on this platform, but it's only for the argument. But I'm not saying that Steve Nash did not deserve to be the MVP that year, but nobody thought he was the best player in the league, and most of us don't think about MVP as most valuable. We think about MVP as the best player in the league, because I think the point of the award is to acknowledge who was the best player in this league this year. And now we got the nerds coming up with their analytics, their numbers of defensive win shares, plus or minus, and per 100. And it's like, who fired, who ain't fire? Now everybody who fire, who the most fire?
Right. I'm sorry here, Lee. I'm down to the last minute.
Nah, you're good. You're good.
I am listening, but I'm just looking at this. I just don't want you to think I'm not listening.
I like to rant and monologue.
Yes, it is. It is about that though. I mean, in a weird way, and I feel like this is the same for the NFL, and I know it doesn't seem like it, but do you remember back in the day when for the NBA, typically the MVP award was given out in game 1 of the second round at the team's first home game. I can remember specifically like AI winning his.
Yep.
Because culturally AI obviously is AI. Like, you know what I mean? like
Yeah.
This is, I mean, obviously they always get paralleled together, but Michael Vick and AI, like, I don't know, they were phenomenons like back then, bro. Like they were.
You want to be Michael Vick and AI, and part of what made
the tattoos,
what made you
some blood, a fucking rock in his ear.
But also what made you want to be Michael Vick and AI? AI is 5'10", Mike Vick is 6 foot.
Yes, he's much more relatable. He's a small dude going to the hole and saying "fuck you, Shaq," like type shit.
Yeah, and you go, I could be that if I had those genetics, and that I ain't gonna say work ethic because neither one of them had work ethic.
Right.
Them niggas was just fine.
I got 30 seconds.
And you know what? There's a part you bring up Michael Vick. Hey, watch your 30 seconds. You bring up Michael Vick and Allen Iverson, and a part of us that loves a Michael Vick and an Allen Iverson is the fact that they were fine and they didn't work hard. Because all of us don't want to work hard to be good at something that's cool to be good at. We just want to wake up and be good. And they were that.
That's what it feels like, right?
And I think those in the media because you're in the media because you're not good enough to perform at the highest level. It bothers you that someone can be so good at something that you want to be good at and they don't try to do it. They just wake up and
It
they're good.
comes natural.
Yeah, like
this shit.
Like you
love this shit.
Did you just hit?
Yes, sir. Hey man, you need to hurry up and have that baby shower that you didn't technically have.
We're having one in June.
Okay, so you did have picked out a date. Is it gonna be in the Benny or is you gonna bring it up here to
No,
Cartersville?
it's gonna be in Cartersville.
All right, good.
Yeah, now
I don't mind. Like I said, it's not a big deal going down there, but
I know, and not.
I just know that outside of once that's done, they say, "All right, what do we got to do?" Then it's like,
oh no,
they're gonna be like,
we can hit up the crew. No, we could make something happen, and if people come down to the Benny, you know, we had a backyard going, we had a grill going, you know, shit. Anything else basketball you want to talk about before we do like a little bit of NFL and then culture?
And then, hey, in that little bit of NFL, I know it was kind of breaking news today, but or I tell you what, even if we don't talk that, I was gonna say like the Scherzer thing, but like and I know we don't really get into baseball. It's such a long season. But let's talk about how hot the Braves are, too. I don't know how much you've watched. Even if I tell you what, we don't have to talk it. Let me give them a shout out. Shout outs to the Braves. They've been red fucking hot. Best team in the NL. We need to plan a game where we can get the girls out.
Yeah, we do.
Especially for that first game, we need to sit in the 755. Hank Aaron, I told you I got like $800 and like some dollars in credit. That'll be more than enough to get us in. Just pick a day, preferably a Thursday, because Friday it's – first of all, I really want to do the day game. The day game is the game I want to do. But even if it is a 7 o'clock game or a 4 o'clock game on like a Sunday or a 1 o'clock game on like a Sunday, because they're not doing any daytime games here until like June 28th. And that's going to be on a Wednesday. So
I would prefer a day game too. So we take in the sun, the true Philippines.
Get something to eat afterwards.
Yeah, but the battery also won't. But the battery won't be like stupid crazy with people who don't care about the baseball game there.
Yes, exactly. It won't be the club.
Exactly.
/ bar scene or whatever.
Yeah, the wife's been talking about getting to a game, and it's crazy you bring that up. So shout out to the Braves. Shout out to us taking our daughters to baseball games. Yo, this is so cool. Hey, real quick before we go into hour 3, it is so cool to have close friends with daughters because none of my friends are deadbeats. So we like raising our kids.
Right, we actually like our kids.
So now I'm getting into this game, and let's do cool stuff that we like to do and make our kids try to like it.
Exactly.
All right, man. That's hour 2 or block 2 because it wasn't even a full hour, but it is what it is.